Morning.
Morning, Cliff. Morning, my brother. Listening to you sharing a little of our history over the years was such a pleasure to listen. I like history. And then it come back to the GLP printing this book of over 250 of their achievement over the years to inform the Jamaican people of what they have done. I hear the leader said they could print more, but the book would have too big, so they're going to print a smaller one with another 100 achievements. And this is the type of politics I really want to see going forward, Cliff, where you can have something to look at what government have done over the years to deserve another term, and getting it also from opposition, what they will do and how they will raise the money if the people should put them in power and not just go around and making big announcements and nothing about how you will fund it. So I'm really impressed with that move by the Jamaica Labour Party in printing that book, Cliff.
Yes.
And secondly, Cliff, as I say, I'm impressed. Dr. Norman Dunn campaign is doing very, very well in Southeast St. Mary. And he also is going around to sharing some of his achievements over the years of the people, what he has done for the people in Southeast St. Mary, especially with water. Mm-hmm. And I'm really also impressed of what is happening on the campaign trail with Dr. Norman Dunn. There's no doubt that it is clear that he will return as Member of Parliament. I just want to use the opportunity at this moment to tell him that when he returns again, the road network in Southeast St. Mary, he have done well comparing to what he have taken it from, but we still need some more improvement in the road network. And unemployment, we have seen a little improvement there. As you know, unemployment over the years have been significantly at a low. But Southeast St. Mary, they suffer from what you call brain migration, from people leaving, going to Kingston in St. and Ho Chi Minh, so that have been cut down.
Hold on for a minute, hold on. Yeah, first of all, on the first point you made about the JLP putting into a print its long list of achievements, yes, I think that has gone over very well. There's no doubt about that. And it's part of the political challenge facing the Labour Party as an incumbent party seeking another term, and in particular a third term, that they have the more difficult case to make. Yes? So I suspect what they're trying to do is to get that message through to the Jamaican voter that, listen, we have earned a third term. Yes? Now, to Southeast St. Mary, Dr. Norman Dunn versus Christopher Brown for the opposition People's National Party. That is going to be a closely fought contest. And you know why you laugh? Because you know, yes, it is a very keenly contested race. Yes? It's an area that I traverse quite frequently.
I know.
Yes? And based on what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, there's no runaway winner in that one. That one is going to go down to the wire. It's going to be a nail biter.
You would allow me to say something now?
Yes.
If I've reached that far.
Yes.
If you understand the history of Southeast St. Mary, it is a tradition that whenever time you have an election, the prediction is it's going to be very close. But from Charlie Ross to Alva Ross days of two former JLP MP, we have seen significant improvement in Southeast St. Mary, especially in the field of farming. Well, under Harry Douglas to Dr. Green, we have seen significant decline, and the cocoa which you would have known about in Richmond, St. Mary, have totally wiped out. And St. Mary Banana, they come along, used to map up a portion of the unemployment because of the hurricane, and so they are not doing as much in Banana, and they are not employing that amount as they used to do. And we have seen a lot of decline in Southeast St. Mary and the migration of our young people leaving school. Talking about school, since Dr. Dunn come in, we have seen significant improvement in school assistant for college students and for high school students, and the education level in Southeast St. Mary has improved. There's no doubt about that. We are producing much more educated youngsters in Southeast St. Mary presently because of that contribution from the government putting in more money to back to school, and with Dr. Dunn extending the program out for children. The rural school bus now is going to come into play come September, going to also contribute significantly to children in Southeast St. Mary reaching to school. So the JLP members of Parliament in Southeast St. Mary over the years have done a lot. And I'm not talking politics here. The record is there to show. You mentioned about Chris Brown, somebody I know very, very well. But the problem is, with this government able to produce the resources for the betterment of Southeast St. Mary, we have not seen that or heard that from the PNP. Can you explain if they will be able to?
I don't know. I can't explain that to them. I can't explain that. But what I do know, I can only tell you what I pick up, from going through that area, for some time now, quite frequently.
I gave you another example.
No, let me finish. Because one of the things I pick up from the people in that section of St. Mary is that they feel that the Labour Party has not delivered for them the way it has delivered for the people of St. Thomas and Portland. And they point to the Morant Bay Urban Center.
Yes.
They point to the developments in Portland, Boundbrook Urban Center. Yeah, they feel that somehow the Labour Party has not delivered for them what it should have. And they point to the state of the Junction Road. Yes? Millions of dollars started on the Junction Road, and very little has been achieved in fixing that road.
Chris?
And it is something that is, I think, hurting the Labour Party chances in Southeast St. Mary and right across the parish.
The Junction Road from Broadgate going out to Anata Bay, that widening of the road is under the Jamaica Labour Party. That promise were made and promise kept by Andrew.
But when you know, nephew, that when you get to Broadgate, you're basically out of the junction.
Because
the problem is the junction.
The thing about it, the people being told that the resources will not there to do the entire road one time.
No, that wasn't the problem, nephew. The money was there, the work had begun, and they ran into serious engineering capacity problems. And also because of the slippage, the physical geography of the area. And it came down to the issue whether or not they should abandon the Junction Road and find an alternative or not.
It is very difficult based on the river running along
the river and
the mountain.
Yes.
But just before you go, when you look at the numbers in the local government election, from the Nata Bay division to the Castleton division to the Richmond division, the GLP numbers is above the PNP. When you look in the Belfield division, the GLP has improved their numbers. So based on last year February voting pattern for the PNP to turn around that number, they are going to need a portion of people who voted for the Labour Party to come and vote for the PNP, which at this present moment, their canvassing is not showing that, and Dr. Dunn will win back when the election comes.
All right, nephew. A something come. We will see.
Yes, I will talk.
All right, good. Time for the break.
My hands were steady.
I hate how Jamaicans put the Labour Party under pressure to deliver when them sit down with PNP for decades in a squalor. That's a view a lot of Labourites and Jamaicans, yes. There seems to be a higher standard for the Labour Party in government to deliver, yeah. And I think that is born out of the reality that the Labour Party tends to pay more attention to government and less on politics, yeah. So Ms. Camille is saying that, you know, they are quite prepared to put up with what she calls squalor, yeah, under the PNP, but they hold the Labour Party to a higher standard. Yeah? Linda Ming says, Cliff, you're introducing something new. The government promised to fix from Broadgate going east, and that has been fixed. No, it was more than that, Linda. Yeah, they were going to fix the Junction Road, and they had to abandon it because of the physical geography, the engineering issues. Yeah. And the people of St. Mary feel like if that was fixed, that was their, you know, golden gift. But it hasn't turned out to be. Patrick Rowe says, so should the St. Mary people go back to the PNP who failed them for decades and decades? Nonsense, says Patrick Rowe. Yeah? So there you have it on the YouTube chat. A lot of people, yeah, weighing in. So you can go over there and join the chat. Okay? 11 minutes going up to 11. Ian, good morning.
Hi, morning, Mr. Hughes. How are you?
I'm alive and well.
Okay, good. You know, I reflected on our Independence Day celebration yesterday. And as I still believe that I'm very young, and I reflect of
and how young
happening.
Is young?
Well, I'm around George age. I'll put it that way.
We don't know what George age. Well, what your age?
About the same time, he was at Jonathan.
You tell me your age.
Oh,
George, get into this. Tell me your
because
age.
George and me always a talk.
But Jesus, I'm gonna hear you and George. You talk to me now. How young are you?
Well, I'm 44 now, and
yeah, get up there, man.
Get up there.
Yes, you know you're middle age now.
Jesus, never mind. But you know, Mr. Hughes, I am a proud Jamaican in many instances, and at the same time, I am concerned. I'm concerned because you have two parties. We are seeing what the Jamaica Labour Party is doing, but we have yet to fully understand the plan of the PNP. And to make matter worse, whenever they are on the political platform, it's almost like a gimmick. It's almost like a game. And Jamaica is at a crucial juncture where our economy is at a place. It is for growth, and if you're not careful, it can collapse again. Right? And when I even listen to Crawford and the things they're saying, because make no doubt that the PNP has riled up their base, you know. Their base has riled up. But again, they need those silent voters who don't vote to come out and vote for them. And the thing is, when you look what is happening in America and England, how immigrants are now treated, it is important that every Jamaica come on board to ensure that what is best for Jamaica remains. I mean, I remember it very well in the 90s. I grew up in the Grandstand area in the 90s. My father was a bus operator. Many bus, perhaps we would traverse on some of them. I used to carry enough university students back in the days from Alpha-Tree to Papine. And I remember when the PNP came, life for us was okay because we consider ourselves privileged. Though we live in the inner city, we could get stuck. A matter of fact, I used to go carry.
Yeah, you're going to cut it short for me. I have a full switchboard.
All right, so the point I'm making is that when you look at how the PNP handles the economy, even when you remember Hedley Brown, I don't hear anybody talk about that.
Former late governor of the Bank of Jamaica.
Yes, committed suicide.
Yes.
Because of this collapse of the economy. And many other Jamaicans who under the 90s suffered. Banks were going down, while others could establish new banks and be profitable, right? And it is something that we must really talk about and really look at where we are now and ask ourselves the question, do we really want to go back? Mm-hmm. And I really, because you're rushing me, I'll sum it this way. Dr. Patrick, you remember Dr. Patrick Harris?
Yes. He was at Trelawney.
He said that Damian Crawford, and you can go back and read the 2015 article in the Gleaner, Damian Crawford must keep out of politics and he should go and join the Haiti and Fancy Cat show. You can go back and read it. It is right in the Gleaner.
You sure?
Right? You go 2015, just Google, keep Damian out.
Oh, you should go join
Dr. Patrick Harris.
He was a former MP for the PNP North Trelawney.
Yes.
I said Crawford should go join what?
I can Fancy Cat show.
And his name is a comedian.
Yeah. You can go and read it.
All right, sir.
Yeah, man. All right, cool.
Who is next to me? Hello? Who is next? Billboard. Hello? Billboard? Marlon Morgan?
Hi, morning, Cliff.
Morning.
Morning, my brother. Don't intend to be long, just seeking to bring your listeners' attention to an observation that many across the country are making. The PNP seems to be running a campaign where, because they are boxed out on all the key issues, because the government is performing so well and has delivered so much, they're seeking to maneuver in and exploit what appears to be angst and disgrunt among some stakeholders in the country. This morning, I'm drawing attention to the matter of PPV operators, public passenger vehicle operators, because you would have heard a certain embattled and the legal general secretary indicating earlier this week that taxi operators should withhold their services from JLP supporters on election day. Mm-hmm. That is horrible. That is a voter suppression tactic, and I believe Aidan Campbell, quite frankly, should resign as a commissioner of the ECJ. But I want to spend a moment, Cliff, to just indicate to public passenger vehicle operators across the country that this Holness-led administration has done more for them in this iteration than that which was done over several decades in relation to their fortunes and prospects. And I'll just share a couple with you. First of all, Cliff, there had previously been a considerable bottleneck at the Transport Authority in relation to applications for licenses to operate as, public passenger vehicles. What this government has done is to essentially devolve that mechanism and empower the regional managers at the various regions across the country to approve licenses, rather than them having to do an application across the country and then everything come sitting up at a bottleneck and get hold up. So the government has accelerated the pace at which persons who are interested in entering the sector, the industry, are able so to do. Separate and apart from that as well, Cliff, we have expanded in terms of the age limit the years of vehicles that taxi operators or persons in the business can bring in. Mm-hmm. That age for motor cars, for example, has moved from 8 years to 10 years. Because as we know, there are persons who operate in the sector or have an interest in operating in the sector who may not have deep pockets, and so they can only afford a 2015 Pro Box, for example, and a Toyota Wish and that kind of thing. So those persons are not limited to importing an 8-year-old vehicle. They can now import as old as an 8-year-old vehicle. But we have done something on the other side of the equation, which is to foster renewal of the fleet. Mm-hmm. Because there are some persons who have an interest in operating in the sector who, based on their endowment, can accommodate or purchase newer vehicles. And so for persons at that end of the spectrum, what we have done, Cliff, is to issue what is called a duty-free license with every application for them to be able to import a 7-seater vehicle. A vehicle with 7-seat capacity, and they have a concession that they get, a duty concession, a duty-free license basically to import that vehicle, so that you can have a refreshing of the fleet. Because one of the things we have found as a government is that the age of the vehicles in the public passenger service tend to be fairly old, and you want to do something to stimulate the renewal of fleet. And that is what the government has done. And we have done a lot to just break down the barrier to entry in the sector. So while the PNP seeks to drive a wedge between the GLP and taxi operators, we know, Cliff, that once we come on with information and once we convey what the facts are to the people, we have even empowered taxi operators by developing 2 apps, 2 applications. One of them being for drivers to get their badge, which makes it easier for them to have the requisite bona fides to operate in the sector. And another course that we have developed is a general course for taxi drivers to upskill them and impress upon them the road code and appropriate driving, approaches and techniques. Because we know
you have to come back with us, Mr. Morgan, because we're out of time.
One of the deficits you have is the horrible use of the roads by some operators, not all. But we are here for taxi operators, and we knock the hustle of no Jamaican, whether they wipe windscreen at an intersection or they sell at a school gate. The GLP is for all Jamaicans, irrespective of their hustle.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Marlon Morgan. After the break, Revo AI, powered by Nationwide, developed by Amber. Its CEO, Dushan